Hey guys, this is Chris off the Bark Bushcraft. Even though we're at camp and we're having a good old time and stuff like that, we still got to pay mind to our tools that we use. So we want to bring a nice small kit along with you, a sharpening kit. You can use a diamond hone. I particularly don't like using these, but they'll get you out of a pinch. But there's one thing I do like using these for. If you got a blade that's kind of beat up, I should say. This one's not too bad, but if it's a little bit dirty, it's got some sap or rust, these are always good to take this stuff off. So I'll go ahead and I'll just get this a little bit wet. I don't like using oil or anything. Water, it's plentiful, it's everywhere. You can always use water. So all I want to do is kind of clean this edge up. It's always important to bring some sort of sharpening implement with you whenever you go anywhere. Yeah, I'm just going ahead and just cleaning that edge up. Now, and I'm pretty confident I got all this grime off of there and majority of little chips or rolls straightened out. I'll go ahead and transition to my stones here, so I can take this thing, put it away, and I'll grab one of my coarser stones and just do the same thing, just repeating the process. And as I work my way around the stone, I want to make sure I concentrate on the edges of the stone so it doesn't get this big concave in it. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep working on this until I can feel with my fingers that the edge, primary edge, is going to grab a hold of my fingers as I slide and do the three finger test. All you want to do is kind of hold your thumb on the spine, your three fingers here, and just all you got to do is kind of just slide straight on the blade, real nice and softly. And it's going to feel rough. It's going to grab a hold of your fingers. That first couple layers of skin that are on your fingers, it's going to grab a hold of that, kind of bite on it, and you can feel it. I'll hear me throughout my videos call I've got the good bite on my blade. So I'm going to keep going on here, and I'll periodically pop in when I move on to the next tool that I got.
You like that? Pretty more where this came from.
Alright, so I got this blade to where I want it. I went down in coarseness in my stones, ended up getting to this 6000 grit, and all I did was strop it. I'm all done with that. I just cleaned it off, double checked everything. It's got a nice edge on it now. This is a piece of sapwood I found earlier. Just doing this as a demonstration to show you how fine you can use this. Or even if you want to, you can shave with it. Check out my Mora. Mora's got a little beat up on the edge here. Got a loon coming on in, I hope. He's still out there. I don't know if you can pick that up. It's got that whole primary edge is just kind of dented in almost. I'm not really gonna sit here and grind metal off and keep grinding metal off until I get to the bottom of that lowest point. I'm just gonna go ahead and flatten it out and make sure it's smooth, and just by the course of using it and resharpening, it'll eventually go away. There's no point of removing all that material off your knife at once. So take my coarse diamond here. You can actually see how it's scratching up the diamond hone here, where it's got some damage on that edge. I kind of straightened it out, and you can still see right here where it's kind of indented. There's a little dent there, but like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and remove all this material to get to the bottom of that one, so it'll eventually go away. Transition to my waters. Now, if you look, this part of the blade is fine. I really don't even need to be sharpened, so I'm going to kind of just stay away from it. You don't have to necessarily do the whole thing over and over and over. Just sharpen what needs it. Sharpen the areas that need to be sharpened. And don't worry about the rest. Kind of want to save our equipment as much as we can. And the more and more we remove material, the more and more that blade's going to just keep getting smaller and smaller. Let's think of a butcher's knife. Ever seen one of them butcher knives? They're about like toothpick thin. And that's a few months of, using it, sharpening it, using it, sharpening it. On to the next. And while I got everything out, I'm just going to go ahead and check my my neck knife here. This one, nice and sharp. I'm just going to take the finer stone and just make sure I touch up that edge just a little bit. That's all I'm gonna do to it. Now we're ready to tackle whatever kind of cab tests you have to tackle with a sharp knife instead of a dull one. Because a dull knife is dangerous. Alright guys, glad you came here to watch me take care of these camp knives and check things out. The fire. Got done with breakfast a little while ago. Enjoyed a cup of coffee. Alright, this is Chris out the Bark Bushcraft. We'll see you next time.